Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be Success is Your Birthright. Well, I've got an email here from a viewer. It's a really good email. I like what the guy did. He took something that I suggested in one of my other videos with a guy whose email I was answering, and he went and he applied it to online dating in the way he was interacting with women, and he caused himself to get a lot more opportunities, a lot more choices. And it's really a great place to be as a man, especially if you're trying to get over a breakup or you're trying to reattract somebody who you screwed up with. You get some other options in your life and you get some other possibilities, and you're not going to be so focused on what you lost, because the hardest thing to do is to maintain your emotional center, your emotional self-control when you're trying to get somebody back, or you're trying to fix a situation that you screwed up with, maybe by acting weak or just doing things that turned her off. Because when you're emotionally invested in somebody, because I talk to a lot of men and women who are trying to get an ex back, and they're so emotionally wrapped up in this other person, and their whole identity becomes associated with being with that person. And therefore, when that person's no longer in their life and they haven't accepted that reality or that truth, because they're trying to change things, they're trying to force things to go back the way they were. In essence, what's going on is they're not accepting reality. And when we don't accept reality, when we don't accept the circumstances of our life as it is, we're going to suffer. And the reason that we're suffering is that we're not enjoying the present moment that we find ourselves living, which is really the only moment that exists. And therefore, since we don't accept what has already happened in our past, we don't allow ourselves to be in the present moment, because we're still wounded or upset or pissed off about something that happened in the past. And therefore, since you don't embrace the present moment, which is the only moment that exists, we're not happy, because we look at our world and we go, these circumstances are not the way I want. Or this person that I want in my life is not in my life. They're not loving me the way I want to be loved. And therefore, since that person is not in your life, you're going to suffer, because you want things to be other than they are. The only way you can really be happy is to enjoy the present moment. In other words, you have life circumstances going on. You have people in your life that are in your life, and you want them to be there, and they want to be there as well. The thing that people always tend to leave out and ignore is that this other person doesn't want to be in your life. In other words, what you don't want is, you don't want somebody who in essence is sitting on the fence trying to decide whether or not they want to be with you. What you really deserve is somebody who would literally jump fences to be with you. But when we want something to be different than it is, we tend to focus on the past. And when we're focusing on the past and what was, then we don't move, we don't circulate, we don't get out there and live our lives and get back to that awesome person that had a whole complete life before we met the person we screwed up with. And that's why I spend a lot of time with men and women, is helping them focus on their purpose, their mission in life, what they're really here to do, to create. Because if I can get you focused on right now, the present moment, and what you need to do in the present moment in order to create the dream life that you want, really from that point forward, it's just a matter of taking the actions. It's time and repetition and adaptation that are going to get you ultimately to that successful dream life that you want 10, 15, 20 years from now. Now, obviously, you're going to want to enjoy your life. You're going to want to enjoy the journey of getting to where you want to be. But the key is, you got to have a vision for yourself. You got to have something that gets you up early in the morning and keeps you up late at night. Something that is really compelling to you, something that's really exciting. Because if you're doing something that's exciting to you, something that you personally consider to be great work, to be exciting work, something that you're really passionate about, you're going to feel alive. You're going to feel excited. You're going to feel happy. You're going to feel content. You're going to be feeling a feeling of peace. And really, in everything that we do in life, that's what we really want, is we really are seeking peace. If we're in a relationship with somebody that we really love and who loves us, it gives us a feeling and a sense of contentment. It gives us a feeling of peace. When you think about having sex or making love, after you both orgasm and you're laying there, completely tired and worn out from the act of making love, you feel empty. You feel complete. You feel peaceful. You feel all is well. If you have a job or a career, winning that big sale or getting that client to come over to your company and do business with your company versus somebody else, that gives you a feeling of accomplishment. You make a big commission, you have plenty of money coming in, your bills are covered, that gives you a feeling of peace. Being able to work a job that you love and earn a really good living at it will give you a feeling of peace and certainty versus always being broke or working a job that you hate and feeling like Monday through Friday you're just trying to survive to the weekend so you can at least enjoy yourself on the weekend. And so the more your personal life, your health life, your body, how well you take care of your body, the things that you do in your life, the people that you spend your life with, your career, your business, your purpose, your mission, the more that is aligned with doing things that you really enjoy and that bring you great peace and confidence in your life. Red alert! I love when the fire department drives by and they're right in the middle of a video. So the more you're focused on things that really bring you joy and peace, the more your life is well-rounded, the more your finances are in order, your health and your body are in order, the more your personal life is in order and balanced, the more your business, your goals, your mission in life is in balance, the more peace you're going to have. And the more certainty you're going to have, and the better you're going to feel about yourself, the more content you're going to feel. And when you're really successful in the majority of areas of your life, have a lot of success and a lot of abundance, then you feel like you have your cup is running over, your cup runneth over, so to speak. In other words, you feel like you have so much more than you could possibly. You have more love, you have more money, you have more success, you have more friendship, you have more love, you have more good times than you know what to do with. And then you look around at the world and you see other people and you want to share what you have with other people. You probably have heard at one point in your life, you can't give away what you don't have for yourself. Well, it's kind of hard to help other people out or have a charity or to give financially to benefit other people if you don't have those kinds of resources yourself. If you don't feel you have a lot of love in your own life, it's going to be hard for you to show up and give the love that you need to give to a person or a friend that you're in relationship with. And so everything that I teach is really all about getting to a place where you can enjoy success in every area of your life, not just your personal life. And being successful in your personal life really is a benefit. It's a side effect of becoming your best self. That's why I spend so much time on goals and purpose and mission, especially for men, because that's the embodiment of what masculine energy is all about. Women like guys that have goals, that have ambition. And the real reason is that success, ambition, breaking through barriers, achieving goals is what masculine energy is all about. And masculine energy is naturally attracted to its polar opposite, which obviously is feminine energy, and vice versa. Feminine energy is attracted to masculine energy because it's its polar opposite. And it's like whether I'm advising a heterosexual man or a woman, or a gay man or a woman, or a lesbian, whenever I talk to somebody, their natural essence is either more masculine or it's more feminine. And a lot of what I do is helping them understand what traits are masculine and what traits are feminine. And once they understand that and they start acting more in accordance with their natural essence, it really helps their personal life get to a place where it's more effortless and more on autopilot, and things just feel natural, where they feel things just kind of flow and they're easy. Because if you have lots of options, if you have lots of ways to make money, you have lots of ways to have health in your life, you have lots of ways that you can meet people, or you have lots of friends in your life, or you have lots of potential lovers, you have lots of potential opportunities or ways to spend your time with people who want to spend time with you. It gives you a feeling of peace and contentment. And when you feel peaceful and you feel relaxed, you make really good decisions. Decisions that you make when you're in a peaceful, relaxed state bring about more peaceful and relaxed states in your life. That's all about focusing on every area of your life that's important to you, so your life can be effortless, where things just seem to like happen. Opportunities just happen. You just see it, and it's like if you've ever been in a situation where, and as far as your dating life goes, where you don't have anything going on, then all of a sudden you meet one person, you go out and things click, and then there's like another and another. It just seems like one after another, or you're getting in the flow of things at work and your business. You get one new client, you get one sale, a second, a third. It just all seems to kind of snowball, and that's what happens when you take relentless, consistent action in every area of your life, and you become a well-balanced, well-rounded person. We're designed to succeed. All of us, everybody watching this video, has natural, innate, latent gifts, skills, talents, and abilities that if you just do a little bit of work and you repetitiously work at something, you will naturally get better very quickly, and you'll gravitate towards things that you have a passion about. One person might be passionate about being a teacher. Another person might be passionate about going into law enforcement. Another person might be passionate about being an entrepreneur, or being somebody that comes up with a new idea that completely changes society. Something like what Mark Zuckerberg came up with, or the guys from Google coming up with something that's really great that offers value. It's like we're all gifted at something, whether it's, even if it's knitting a blanket. There's some people that are really great at knitting and creating stuff like that, and they love it and they have a passion for it. Me, that's about as much fun as watching paint dry. It's like being a coach. I think it's the most awesome thing since sliced bread. There's other people that might think, I wouldn't want to deal with people's problems. I wouldn't want to help people that have shit not going well in their life. I think it's fascinating. It's a fascinating subject. Like I said, we're all born into this world, and we have natural gifts, skills, and talents. And the more that we embody those, the more we're going to radiate our own magnificence. The more we are living up to the potential that our Creator has given us. And like I said, we're all born to be great at something. And the more you can be great at something you really enjoy and you really love, the more money you're going to make, the better you're going to do in business, the better you're going to do in your career. Because if you really like something, you really work at it. It's the same thing with a relationship. If you really like the person that you're dating and you're really happy and you're really in love, you're going to take better care of your body. You're going to be more focused on your goals, your career, your mission in life, because you're so happy with the person you're with. If you have a great life now, and then 6 months from now you find yourself in a relationship with somebody that's like a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10 for you, what happens is today when you're not with that person, you might think your job is an 8 or a 9, or your business is an 8 or a 9. Well, 6 months from now, because your life gets so much better because this person's in your life, you might look at your job and say, you know what? It's really a 5 or a 6. I've kind of always wanted to be CEO, or I kind of always wanted to have my own business, or I've kind of always wanted to work for this dream company of mine, or this. And then you start looking at those things because you're so happy, you want more happiness. And then you start, because you got so many great things going on in your life, and you think, wow, my job's like a 5 or a 6, when 6 months ago it was like a 10. But now, because you're so much happier, you realize you could be even more happier if you had a different career, a different job, a different business that you happen to be involved in. So you naturally start gravitating towards that and taking risks. You know, there's one of my success quotes that I have written down. I don't remember who it was by, and I don't remember the exact whole thing, but basically the way it goes is you can't steal second base and still leave your foot on first. Progress always involves risk. So before I get into this short email, I got a quote that I wrote that I want to share with you, and then we're going to go through this guy's email and see what cool thing, how he applied what I taught and the great results he's getting in his life. And the quote says, "It is your birthright to be successful. You are a divine being whose birthright is to have life work out for you in the best way possible. When you focus on finding something you feel inspired to become great at, or something you love doing for a living, it gives you focus, energy, a sense of purpose, and makes you feel like you are living the life that you are capable of living. Surround yourself with others who are seeking their own greatness and who encourage you to seek your own. When we believe in our own greatness and our own ability to create success for ourselves, and then we take relentless, consistent action towards our goals and dreams, we then are creating the conditions for our dream life to manifest slowly and effortlessly over time. The better you become, the more successful you will feel, and the more your life circumstances will start to match your dreams and goals. Time, repetition, and adaptation is the key to perfecting yourself and your life. It's really just all about finding a way day in and day out to get a little bit better than you were yesterday. It's just like, one of the reasons why I do these videos is because I know not every day is going to be great. It's not all fucking sunshine and roses. Sometimes you have setbacks. Sometimes you start dating somebody, you think, wow, this is really going to be a great relationship. It's really going to work out. And all of a sudden, something happens. It blows up. It doesn't work out the way you want. And you've got to be able to get past that. You got to not let those negative events, or those events that you're labeling as negative, affect you and inhibit you from taking action, because circulation is the key to life. Circulation is the key to happiness. And especially with this one particular viewer, what he did, and it's like what I talk about, it's a numbers game. You got to interact with, if you're having a scarcity in your dating life, well, you got to ask out more people. It's simple, it's common sense when you think about it, but really it's one of the things I say is to guys that are struggling, for the next month I want you to ask out 100 women. Because the reality is you might get a dozen or so dates out of 100 women that you ask, and out of those dates you might get laid 2 or 3 times. That typically is what the numbers average out to be. But the key is that you got to get out there and ask, because it's like by the time you get to woman number 50, it's really not a big deal. And that's the whole point, is to get you to a place where asking a girl out on a date is kind of like ordering a Big Mac in the drive-thru line at McDonald's. It's really not a big deal, because it's really not. Because the pickup portion, the making a date portion, really is the smallest portion of the interaction. Because at the end of the day, attraction is not a choice. The person, the object of your affection or your attention, the person you want to go out with, attraction is not a choice. They either like you or they don't. And so the reality is that you're just trying to find out, without saying it this way, are you in or are you out? It's really that simple. But the average person, they get hung up on what's not working, or they get focused on the fact that this person they were dating for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, it didn't work out, and they're all worried about that, or worrying about getting another chance, instead of just getting out there and meeting somebody new. Because it's like when you do that, when you get in the flow and you're circulating, you're doing things you love, not only for a living, but what you do for fun, you're just doing fun things. As a side effect, you'll meet other people who are like-minded that like doing fun things. Like attracts like. So let's get into this guy's email. He says, hey coach, I've been implementing your advice and I've read your book 6 times. That is fucking awesome. 6 times is a great start. It's a lot better than 1 or 2 times. And things are a lot clearer at 6 reads than they were on the first 2 reads. And just think, when you get to 12 or 15, you literally will be able to recite this stuff. You'll be able to regurgitate. When you're listening to me read somebody's email, you'll know exactly what I'm going to fucking say next. And that is when you are proficient. That is when you are proficient in knowing the knowledge. Now, applying it, obviously, is something completely different. But in order to apply the knowledge successfully, you have to know it backwards and forwards. You have to be able to not think about it because you know it so well. The problem comes in where you really don't know the information. It's kind of foggy in your head a little bit. And you'll be interacting with somebody and you'll remember something in the book, but it really won't be that clear. Repetition is the mother of skill. You want to master this stuff. Because when you master the knowledge that I teach, it's going to affect every other area of your life. Your life as a whole, as a side effect of trying to become better with the opposite sex, is going to become better just because of this wisdom. It'll make you a better negotiator. It'll make you a better salesperson. It'll make you better at reading people, being able to judge what people are going to do based upon your actions. And if you're in negotiation or in business or trying to get a job or a career or get an investor to invest in your business, those are all things that are essential. And if you can just look at somebody and read their body language, read their physiology, and you can tell what they're thinking and feeling, that gives you an incredible advantage in life. It almost kind of makes you psychic in a way. He says, in one of your videos, you talk about a client who you gave the challenge of asking out 100 women for their phone numbers. So I go online and I ask 108 women out with the following email. And this is what he says. And this is not what I teach. In the article that I wrote, The Ultimate Online Dating Profile, I put a profile out there and I say what I'm looking for. And you can Google Corey Wayne, The Ultimate Online Dating Profile, and women will contact you. But if you want to be proactive, this is just a way that one guy took what I taught and adapted it and applied it. And so he says, this is what he sends in his email. I'm not into the back and forth emails, which when finally we exchange phone numbers, talk, and go from there. So in the name of just getting to it, I give you my phone number and ask for yours. Bob. 99999, obviously gives his phone number. So he says this was just over the days of Sunday and Monday. So he just sat down, and this is what I love about masculine energy, being a guy. It's all repetition's mother of skill. It's just tell me what the fuck I need to do, and I'll go do it. And this is what, as a coach, this is what I enjoy. So when I tell somebody to do something, they go out and do it, boom. And this is what happens. So he says this was over the days Sunday and Monday. Today is Tuesday, and I have received 11 replies with phone numbers. That's pretty good odds. That's like 10, 11%, 12%. That's pretty good. And in direct response marketing or sales, if for every 100 people that you contact, if you get 2 to 3% to convert, you're doing great. And he's doing really well with that response. He says in comments like, this is what women are saying back to him. Well, you get straight to the point. I like that. I now get to be selective about who I will call because I'm operating from a surplus. So instead of suffering from a pussy embargo, he's at an all-you-can-eat pussy buffet. He says not to mention the 2 women that I'm hanging out with, having fun with, and hooking up with. 2 huge successes for me from your advice is that I do not chase anymore, and I don't need to. Second is to absolutely go for the kiss on the first date. The second I am hanging out, having fun, and hooking up with, he says, so the second one, he's hanging out, and he says, she tried to suck the tonsils out of my throat, in essence. So, I mean, that's pretty good numbers. 108 women he sent the email to, which basically said, I'm not into the back and forth emails, which when we finally exchange phone numbers, talk and go from there. So in the name of just getting to it, I give you my phone number and ask for yours. Bob, 77 Bob, whatever the phone number happens to be. That's a great way to go about it. I mean, think about this for a second. And I say this a lot to guys when I'm coaching them, or I even mention this in videos. What's easier if you're trying to reattract somebody you may have screwed up with? Because a lot of people, I'd say about 80-90% of the people that come to me, that's what they want to know. And if you're trying to reattract somebody and you're all emotionally wrapped up and you have nothing else going on in your life versus you have 3 or 4 women going, hey, I want to see you, I miss you, I want you deep inside me again, the other night was spectacular. If you got 3 or 4 women blowing up your phone wanting to get together with you and hook up with you again, and then you got somebody that all you're hearing is crickets from, total silence from, are you really going to give a fuck? I think not. So again, success is your birthright. But if you want to be successful, it's like what Michael Jordan did. When Tony Robbins, all those years, 15, 20 years ago, when Tony asked Michael Jordan, was like, why did you win 6 championships? What is the difference between you and everybody else? And it was without batting an eyelash, this is rolled right off his tongue. He basically told Tony, he said that I have higher standards for myself than anybody else. In other words, I demand more out of myself than my coaches, my teammates, my friends, my family, and my fans demand out of me. In other words, his standards were so far beyond what everybody else could possibly even conceive for him. Therefore, what did that cause him to do? It caused him to work harder and take more action, to go above and beyond. And that's what this guy has done here. He's gone above and beyond what the average person would do when it comes to emailing. He looked at the situation, he's like, I want to create some abundance for myself. So he went right out there and boom. This was the abundance this was how he went about it. And look what he got. Out of 108 women, 108 emails of women that he emailed that he was interested in, he got 11 replies with that response. He's direct, he's confident, he gets right to the point. Obviously the women like his pictures because they wouldn't have responded. And it doesn't mean he's going to go out with all 11 of them. I would say if he goes out with 3 or 4 of those, he's doing great. Because he might talk to a couple of them and think, you know what, it's conversation's kind of a little forced. It's kind of boring, not really that excited to talk to her, that kind of thing. And that's what you're going to experience. Repetition is a mother skill. What I teach is great. It's great knowledge. But if you don't apply it, you're going to get nowhere. And what's beautiful about what this guy did is he actually applied it. Because after all, knowledge is only potential power. It only becomes power when you actually apply it. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone or Skype coaching session with me. And you can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.